We're going to be jumping right back into it this week, as we always do, starting with Monday. We know we had a bank holiday on Friday, which was Veterans Day, so might be a little bit more play in the market today. But we always want to maintain perspective. That's one of the most important things that we do here is always try to maintain that perspective. So the first thing that we do is we jump onto the monthly chart and zoom all the way out. That gives us the opportunity to see the bigger picture, see where some of these bigger players are positioning themselves, and play from some of those levels. All right. So the first thing we're looking at here on the monthly is we've had a cessation of one time framing. We're one time framing lower, right? The previous month took out that low, so we had 3 months lower with lower lows and lower highs in a row. That trend has since been broken by the current month. We're back above that previous month's high. We have a little intra-month trend going here. That's what this green line is. This is that monthly trend. We've got that 20 SMA up there on the 42.42, which is a pretty far ways away. But we're kind of all have our eyes on here. Excuse me. I couldn't stop that one. We kind of all have our eyes on here. This low, right? You seem to be a low, low, low. Kind of a doji there. The high, the open, and then kind of the high here. So that 4100 to 41, I would say like even like 42, basically 4100 to 4200. It's kind of like the next possible spot. We'll have to see here. If when sellers decide to step in, it's kind of an interesting look here with this move up. We had a little 3-week balance. We broke out of that 3-week balance. Key here is to monitor for continuation. Last week's high was 4,975. So that will be kind of the key level that we'll need to be watching. We'll go ahead and we'll see it get broken, but we'll just create an alert anyways. Always good just to have some alerts to remind you, just in case, in case you're just not, in case you're caught up in the moment. Sometimes you get a little bit too zoomed in, especially while you're trading, and then all of a sudden we break a key level during the day, and then you look back at it at the end of the day and you're like, damn it, what the fuck was I doing? Why didn't I realize I literally talked about this level? I should have just paid attention, blah blah blah. You guys know how that goes. I just wanted to remind you. Good morning, Peter. Morning, Roach. Morning, Dad. Morning, Lecker. I read an entire book this weekend, a psychology book, and I feel good. Like I haven't been reading as much lately because I just kind of been off my game. I felt like, but last week felt really good, and then this weekend the momentum continued, and I was able to power through an entire book this weekend. And there was a lot of talk about um not being able to maintain perspective and getting too focused on the small things, and that's something that I think can happen to a lot of traders. So I just wanted to make sure I brought that up, and I'll bring it up more throughout the day today. On the daily, we're one time framing up now, right? We've made higher lows, even though these are really close. We do want to go back to this non-extended hours, and we can see we're kind of getting up into this gap. That's going to kind of be like really the next level above this 40. This is actually supposed to be 49.75. Oops. What? Oh, it'll sleep at that. Be fine. But there's a gap from here with a high at 40.51. So that's going to be kind of the next level up above that 40.10. If the market does continue to move up today, and you can see where we put this gap in here. So if the market does continue to move up again today, then that will be something kind of like the target that we'll pay attention to on any continuation of that move up there. That would be that unfilled gap, and then there's another unfilled gap up here as well, up at the 42.02. So with the 200 SMA kind of sitting right in that gap, it's almost like, I mean, I mean, I don't want to say that's where we're going, but it really does kind of seem like that. Next thing we'll do, we're going a little bit out of order today, but it's all right. Look at our investing calendar for our economic releases, find out what time it is, 42 minutes. Got a couple things coming out, nothing really too spectacular. Typically when I'm scanning this thing, I'm really just looking for like 2-star stuff. Um, I don't know why there's speculations coming out today. Oh, it's soybeans, CFT. They should have came out on Friday. What day is this? Interesting. But nothing really. There is a Fed speaker today. Yeah, Bernard speaks at 11:30. So that might bring in some volatility. That's normally right during the slow time of the market, so a little bit of lighter liquidity with some Fed might bring in some volatility. Definitely want to be careful of that. Jumping over to the profile, you can see the overnight profile very kind of weird looking here. What was our settle? Our settle was 4,000 and a quarter. And our last was 99.50, so we'll just leave it there. We've got some singles that we powered through. That 9.7 high can actually get tossed up here. And we'll call this 4 high, 11.11. What color do we want poor highs to be? All right, perfect. We got the settle there. That previous spike, not really that important anymore. We want to just drag up half back. And so sometimes when we have these moving markets, these trending markets, especially on the profile, you can kind of see I'll leave these half backs on the way up. These gray zones are just my trade zones. Don't just ignore those. Those are nothing. But the overnight, you see this is from that overnight halfback. That one can get erased. But so I'll leave this halfback and then just kind of duplicate this one to our current day's halfback, 80.50, or Friday's halfback, just because that could be, a decent spot that the market may look to trade back down to. And it happens to be right on the previous point of control. And you've kind of got that 100 SMA there as well. 100 SMA sitting on the 39.11, actually. Yeah, right there. So that'll be something that we definitely want to at least keep on. You don't necessarily have to, but it's just something that I like to keep track of. We've got that poor low down here as well. So we had a poor low and a poor high on Friday. That's pretty interesting. As far as overnight is concerned, 921, very wide point of control because you were just a couple of ticks below it. 24 TPOs wide, poor high, poor low, opening up inside the yesterday's range. Very, very, very good odds that today the market's just going to be a super duper chop fest here early on. And it'll probably be best really to just stay out of this mess. This whole area will probably be a chop zone. Let the market get some continuation above the Globex high or below the Globex high. I mean, you've got a 45-degree angle really kind of just forming on both sides at this point. I feel like, I feel like it's just going to be a mess for the most part to start off. I will say that inventory is 100% net short, and if we look over here and zoom in and just look at our 30-minute chart, And we'll put the overnight hours on. You can kind of see it here. You can see we have a little bit of a CME gap, that they would call it, right? We kind of gap down on the open, and we just haven't really been back above that 4,000 level at all. Overnight, there's just been kind of somebody selling up there. So definitely be something that you're wanting to pay attention to. Kind of a little CME gap down here. Well, not a CME gap, a real gap down here. But you just kind of see where the pressure's coming in. There's just been an overhead resistance all night the previous night. Finally got up there and touched it during the cash session. And then today we opened on a gap lower. Well, yesterday evening we opened up on a gap lower, and then now we're kind of popping up here. So that'll be kind of an interesting look just to start the day off at least. Definitely want to be paying attention to that. Let's see. Take a quick peek around the block here. See the dollar still, kind of getting punished here. Really had that nice breakdown, broke that trend. That was a really nice look for the market. Helped out the market a lot. Australian dollars still on the sky. Great trade there. Euro powering above that $1 mark, bro. Ended up breaking out again on Friday. Bitcoin just looks like absolute shit. Oil just kind of struggling, trying to find its way. Had a little bit of a break of trend, but then kind of reclaimed it. So we'll really just kind of extend this back up here. It's still, for the most part, maintaining that trend. Apple, huge rip from that 140 level, right? We talked about this 140 level big time. See those two big days. We'll go ahead and we'll zoom in for these next couple. See overnight inventory pretty much net short. Apple's opening up inside range. AMD's looking strong, opening up on a gap to the upside. Amazon opening up inside yesterday's range. There's the FANG index, this kind of combines them all together. They're opening up higher. Google's going to be opening up inside yesterday's range. Meta is opening up inside previous day's range. Microsoft, big rejection off that 247, but it actually kind of closed that gap. That's a weird look there. Netflix opening up towards the high of Friday's session. Nvidia's got earnings coming up soon as well, so that there might be some volatility coming into Nvidia. Tesla, let me just see when these earnings are. Earnings are 11/16, so Wednesday. Okay. Tesla still below that 200 mark, 192, right? Couldn't have done this like a week earlier. That would have been great. But what can we do here? We're still just inside Friday's range. The TNX got smacked down, still below that 40 mark. We'll still watch that 40 mark naturally. The VIX is actually up 5% compared to Friday's session, with the market just not really doing anything. So we'll have to see, does the VIX come off early, or does the market start to make a move down and repair some of this kind of these weak references here. We've got 4 minutes. All right. Now we're ready. We expect the tick to open up pretty neutral here. That would just kind of make sense there. We'll watch the excuse me, we'll watch the breath opening up. Let's go ahead and switch this back to the ES here. Just back to our 1 minute. And I really think today, like that 39.22 level, I know we're pretty far away from it right here, but that's kind of the key to monitor for a successful breakout because there could be some downside today, naturally after we have two really strong days. But as long as the market stays above that 39.22, I still remain kind of bullish on the move because that kind of confirms the breakout of balance. So that'll be kind of the key thing that I'm really watching for today. 1 minute, so we get open. All right, there's our open. Back above the open. Remember, like we said, we think it might be a little bit choppy this morning. Good odds here just to kind of, be patient, let it work itself out. Break above this 85 probably brings in some stops that takes you up to that 89. Tick opens up pretty low here, negative 650. We'll see what the weighted AD tries to do here. I think buyers are getting, oh, maybe not. Buyers are getting aggressive. They met sellers' demand down there at the 83. There goes those stops. Right to 89. So on the retrace, you want to see the market hold the 85. That was really the impulse zone right there. There's no down auction past the 85, then you can kind of assume that the game is on. A lot of overhead volume here. This looks like stops are kind of lined up. Sellers trying really hard here. They're able to get it. Still not looking below 85 though. Nice pop. See if they'll target that Globex high here if they're able to get this thing rolling. That's kind of right around 97. Sellers look like they're getting stuck here. I mean, sellers are trying really hard right here, but it looks like they're being a little bit too aggressive. But I'm not a buyer right here. I like the 85 area. Um, this is kind of where the impulse stepped up, but I don't really like below 85 for the market either. I'd like to see them kind of hold and backfill this area and chance to get on board with that long. Now let's see if we can get some continuation. Next target up you're looking for really is like 95, if they can break this. And then that Globex high is like 96.5. If that can get on board. The market's right at the VWAP too. The VWAP's right here, like at 87. No continuation there. A little bit of a breakdown below 85 now. Now the market starts to look a little bit weaker. You got, looks like some buyers maybe stuck here on the 85.50. See if they can get it over. Now you're kind of looking at that. Okay, that's a nice jump right there. Let's see if they can hold this 85 again. Like buyers are getting stuck again on 85.50. Need to hold this thing up here. Right back to the VWAP. More selling on the VWAP there. Nasdaq's looking kind of weak here. Super tight range to start the day. It's really hard to know like what's going to happen from here. You know, it's really like just so back and forth. You can see the tick is pretty weak. You know, in order to see some real strength up here, we'd like to see that tick really pop above zero to show us there's some buyers up here willing to kind of try to take that high. There's a lot of overhead liquidity here, so a lot makes sense. A lot of people are shorting the overnight point of control, but it's just a very mechanical reference and seems um, weak to me. And the market is, you know, it kind of, I mean, kind of, I mean, long term bearish, but it's in an area where you've got people that basically the bot got into a call. Okay. It's in an area basically where people need to decide, am I gonna be getting short or am I gonna be getting long here? The overnight is a go with. Yeah, I mean, I think there's opportunity to go with it before that, but yeah. I just got a decent little move right there from the 85 quarter to the 89.50. Thanks. Yeah, I was just using the open as my stop. The market can't break below the open, even though they're selling. Like the tick is below zero, they're selling, and no break of the open. That just showed kind of weakness. Because I was in a trade before, got in at 85.50, and then I saw that it started to come down. I closed at 88.75, got kind of nervous. But then they came back down. They couldn't break the open. Now they're back up in this range, and this is kind of the spot where you're like, okay, well, should I just sell my position out, or are we going to break, or what? It's really hard to kind of decipher that here. It just looks like this selling is mostly mechanical to me, but it definitely could break either way. To be honest, it's pretty uh balanced. I feel like. Of course, I am rooting for the upside. I don't know. It looks heavy. It's tough. It's tough. Okay, we got some stuck shorts at 88.50. Let's see if we can hold this 88.50 here. We can hold above 88.50. I like it. Nice. Let's rockin'. So watch that 95. I like the 95, even though the Globex size is like 96 and a half. I like the 95 just because I feel like some sellers probably come out there. Um, I just hit a nice trade on the NASDAQ. Oh man. Um, I like the 95 area for some selling to try to come in just because it's like a nice round number before the 00. 96 quarter. You might get some people trying to sell the Globex high. That makes sense, but I moved my stop up to 90 quarter here though. And I'm good with that 90 quarter and I'm out. There it goes. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Are you there, Brad?
You see, be right back.
Oh, okay. I just make sure my mic was working.
It's working. How's your weekend?
My weekend was good. Yeah. To Oklahoma, visited a family friend, went shooting. It was fun. How's your weekend?
That was good too, man. Weather's been perfect and just hanging out. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we gonna buy this 3980 right here or what?
I don't know. It's all over the place.
I know. It's tempting.
Price Brad took trades already.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Well, goddamn. I walk away and you guys give up the market, huh? Maybe it was just me buying the market up, I guess. Like, oh, those look good. All right, well, here we go. Breaking back below the open. Still, there was that kind of that key sign right there. That was kind of a bad time for me to take a break. Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. But what made you decide to take that first trade so early?
So we immediately traded lower on the open, right? And then we didn't break the Globex low. And we're kind of doing the same thing now. But we didn't break the Globex open. Then we traded back above the open and ran some stops from 85 to 88. Then we came back down
Held
to
that 85.
to, and held the 85. I took a couple trades in there from 85. I think it was 85 quarter to 88.75 was that first trade. So it wasn't a big trade. Now we're looking right at the Globex low. And then it ended up running up. We caught it nice up there, and then closed our last trade at 90 quarter. I was actually looking for it to get up to 95, but it didn't. But we never saw the tick get above zero, and that's kind of showing us that weakness early on with buyers. Hang on a second. Okay. And now we're kind of seeing that same thing, right? We saw this kind of look below the open, failure to break that Globex low, and now we're back above the open. We know that weak spot here is 85. That's kind of where we saw the weak spot before, so we can kind of play this two ways. Failure to hold above the open, right? We can get short with a stop I mean, we could use the 85, but we could use the open on a one tick stop. A hold above the open signifies a little bit of strength. So then we wait for it to pop the 85, get in there, and then use the open as our stop the other way. And that's kind of like the two things. And really, what we're looking at here, pretty mixed bag. So it's really hard to have any conviction on either side. Tech is doing kind of weak. How's Apple doing? Apple is red. No, Apple's red, down 1.16. What the fuck's the deal with this thing? Sometimes I fucking hate Thinkorswim. Like, why are you showing so many? Like, it's showing me like 3 days in the future of charts. Like, I don't care about all this blank space. Like, just let me see the chart that I'm on. Curtis, what is that? So now we're coming back down below the Globex low. What was that? All right, go get a juice. This is actually an area that I was looking to qualify a trade here for my plan, and that was because if it fails to get accepted below this point of control from Friday, that could be a bullish sign. You kind of see, I mean, already missed it. Pretty nice tapering coming in off there, so that kind of looks like buying right there off that low. Yeah. Strength or strong buying right here. Strong, if this was strong buying, we should go above the 85.
Thing from us breaking back into the overnight range as like a sign of weakness from my side, or do you not bother with going back inside overnight session?
I guess it would just
Like if there were
depend.
strong sellers, would they try and hold it below that?
Yeah,
Or do you not
I would
take
say
it into account?
I would say yeah. I would say more hold below. I look for more I'm looking for more. In this case, I'm looking at the point of control, which happens to be the Globex low exactly.
Yeah.
But I would be looking for more acceptance back into Globex value more than just back into Globex range on the
Got you.
on the come back in. Now on the exit, I do like that Globex low as like a hold below that Globex low, not just hold below value.
Okay, got you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we trade right to the 85. I think we traded 80. What was this? 85, 75? Forgot to clear this thing. All right. Yeah, it was like 86 maybe. Right above the VWAP, right? And the VWAP's at 85 half-ish right now. You can see it 86 quarter on this chart. And you get a pretty big response right there. So now the immediate becomes this half back in the open. So this is where buyers, because this looked like buying, right? It was decent strength because it got all the way up to 85 before a seller stepped back in. So now if buyers can hold this half back in the open, they should be golden here to try to take the high. That last tick closed above 0, so we've got some strength here in the buying. The Nasdaq though is looking not as strong here. But tech is still coming up because tech was down 0.3, now it's down 0.1. Healthcare is getting a little bit strong. Financials coming back up. Consumer discretionary not doing that great. Getting a little bit of bids. Still step up here. But we selling still right above the VWAP. We'd like to see this break and hold of 85, 85, and then we can use the open as our stop. I mean, even here, you could probably look to get filled and then stop underneath of that 80.50. I got filled on 83 right there.
That was brutal. I got in at 82 and then got stopped out at 82.
You were short or you were long?
No, I was long.
Oh, you just got back. Oh, you moved to break even and it got you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I moved it one tick above break even. So it's like it went up, went up, went up. I was like, okay, I'm up like, almost 4 points. I'm like, all right, let me move this up. And then it just came down a touch. And I was like, damn.
I read that book that you read, Jared.
Uh-huh.
Or I listened
There's some
to
good
it again.
there's some good stuff in there, huh?
Yeah, it was just funny. I'm like, this book like must speak to you.
Yes, dude, that book. That's what I
Yeah.
was telling you. I was like, this book speaks to me, Brad. It's me trading 100%.
What's crazy is like it sounds like so familiar. I'm like reading it. I'm like, I feel like I've said all these things to Jared. Just I don't have a book.
You're like looking at your right hand, looking at your left hand, like it's like Brad's book,
Yeah.
this book. Like,
I'm like, what the fuck is this book? No, but it was good. It was good.
yeah, it's good.
I was like fucking lonely this weekend. You and James both busy at just gaming by myself.
I know.
Oh, I didn't even game with headphones on. I just put a book on in my ears and just sat there, finished it the whole over the weekend.
Nice. Yeah, I had a fun weekend, man. Shooting and everything. It was just it
Yeah,
was
those
fun.
are some cool guns. Yeah.
Yeah, had a lot of guns.
So here we're coming back up into that value, and now we're going to try to look for acceptance here, right? We like the 85 level. We know it's been a key level. It's right where the VWAP's at, and you kind of see them kind of. But we'll look at this 84 level as well, just because this is value area low for Globex. With it being so tight to the point of control, I mean, you can see the range is definitely different today, right? Like with your trades, like Friday and even Thursday, we almost got used to hitting fatties, right? Used to hitting like these big ass trades because the range was so big. Well now, this tight range that we're in. I mean, look at the Globex range is 20 points. Today's range is about 20 points as well. So getting 3 out of 20, that's still a pretty decent. If you get a 3-point trade, it's still a pretty decent trade today. So basically what I'm saying is like don't be today's not a day to be afraid to take profit
Just
until we
did.
break out. Until we break out. Yeah. I mean, eventually we're going to break out and hopefully get some on when we do, but if you don't, today's going to be until that happens, and there'll be opportunity after that happens, but until that happens, it's better to keep it small is what I'm saying. Don't get sold on like, oh, this thing's going up or this thing's going down and take a bunch of heat, because today, especially if we go up, because I don't think there's a lot of strong selling in here, but especially if we go up, if you're short, there could be some very dangerous repercussions.
Now go back down to 82 real quick, just for me. I already know this thing's gonna just spike up to 90 right now. I'm gonna buy down.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it wants to. The Nasdaq just, Nasdaq's being a little baby back bitch, but it looks like it wants to. Curtis, clear that. If I have to tell you again, you're gonna sit over here right next to me. Fucking guy's alarm just goes off all the time. Like, I gotta get used to checking your blood sugar.
Yeah, writing's on the wall on this one. Going up on a Tuesday.
Watch the tick here. This is gonna kind of be the thing. Is like sometimes the tick tells you information by what it doesn't do as well. So even if we do get a pop, if we don't get a pop with a tick over 600, That'll tell you that that's short covering. But just be careful here. Right at the VWAP, 85, up a little pop below. That's really where we saw that impulse from last time, and that's really where we would like to see it from again. Right here. VWAP's on, or Nasdaq's on board. ES taking off right from its VWAP. Nasdaq trying to head back to its VWAP.
Here's me running on a dirt road behind it with my suitcase. Wait, wait for me. No.
Second time today I tried to backtick you, but you closed at break even before I hit your stop. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's like, there's no don't be afraid to get in and then get out and then get back in. You know what I mean? You like this area. I've traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times right there in that little area for like a point or two, like just trying to keep some on before a breakout, right? Trying to capture a little bit more of the move, and then just when it doesn't happen, boom, flat. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you just have to keep doing, because it's a tough situation because you just got out of a trade and you're like, and then it comes back down to your entry and you're like, fuck, this is where I was in from before. But like, well, if you liked it, 2 seconds ago, because it's really choppy, how come you don't like it now? What changed? And you're like, oh, because it didn't win immediately. It went up and then it came back down. So now I think it's going to go down. But what's really telling you that it's going to go down? You've got to think about those kind of things. You've got to understand, like, sellers, they're just still getting trapped for the most part. Right here, they're trying hard on the 86 and they're just not making any progress.
Wait for me. Now there's up to 90. Comes
Nice.
94.
And hopefully break out to the high and then just fucking go to 40. What do we say? What's that? 200 sitting at? 40. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Daily.
I think it was 94.50. Oh, you mean the high one?
Tick got right to 600. I want to see some strength here on the tick. 200's at 40.80. So we can just go straight to 40.80. I'm cool with that. Little profit taking there.
Dude, I was in full blown panic right now. I swear CR charts just traded for me.
What?
Yeah, I swear to God. It placed a sell order on its own. I didn't place it right at the tick of that right there. I mean, it's at like 93.75. It filled me right there for 3 lots. It's like, oh shit. And a short. And I was like, oh, I'm in profit. And I took it. I swear to God, though, I didn't even touch it. I just was sitting here with my, hands under my butt trying to warm them up and just watched it happen.
Well, goddamn. Fucking gift from God there.
Yeah, cool fucking bot trade right there. That was nice. Yeah, TIG didn't get above 600.
Yeah, it failed right at it. And you had profit taking. This right here was profit taking. So they're doing a little bit of backing and filling. Really here, we're still watching that 85 level. That's kind of where all the volume was at. It stepped up here on the 89 as those sellers got trapped on the 86. We're kind of just backing and filling this area so far. Watch for the tick you know, like we said, it's kind of sometimes it tells us about what it doesn't do about the market, and then not being able to break the high, at least not yet, you know, and not break above that 600 kind of told us. So these guys are stepping off. Now it looks like they kind of want to step back on, but it's still, yeah, it gets strong here. Above 600. Nice. Got some stuck shorts on the 93. Back down to it. If they're gonna get stuck again. And I got it back down. And look, that tick just barely cracked the 600 and then came right back down. So still no conviction. I thought they had it that time. They still might, but I'm flat. I flattened out. Get some back in, but we'll see. You know, that's kind of telling. That's twice they just kind of hammered the top, and then another poor high within a poor high, within a poor high, right? We're just getting 3 poor highs in a row. That's just showing you that there's kind of a lack of demand here to me. You've got 63 contracts on that high, 100 on that high, 52 on that high. Below 85, I think the market will puke a little bit. I don't know. I don't really like the market right here, to be honest with you guys. Not anymore. I think I'll wait until it breaks the Globex high until I decide about any longs. I mean, unless we get back down to here, then there's some opportunity, of course. But I don't really like a trade either way here. I like an opportunity to get shorted below that 85, though. What's that?
You think we're a little bit extended here, Brad? Like with the buy-in. Obviously, we've got the huge gap below.
Let's look at
2
this.
days of value higher. I think it's just balancing out a little bit today.
It definitely could be. Let me look at the COT reports. I forgot to do that. 11:01. What's today? The 14th. These should have been. They are today. Oh, maybe because of the holiday? Oh, so we don't get any COT information until tomorrow. So that's why they weren't available right after the market closed. That's why I tried to look at them. You got short after that second poor high, 39.93.75. Good shit. That's right where Jared's Bach got short too. Yeah, so I guess I don't know, Tommy. It's that's a tough one to tell, because what it looked like to me was that the previous week the buyers didn't close any of their longs, but they closed a bunch of shorts, so they had a bunch of cash, and so last week they could have been buying, which I'm sure they were, which is why we had that gap. But here we go. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the market. So basically, like, I feel like they had the opportunity to buy last week, but I don't think they really bought a ton. I think they were really just kind of buying the dips. And if we look on the daily, you can kind of see that, right? You can kind of see like they were just buying a little bit here. And this is where they were closing short, so that short covering rally. Then we came back down, and they kind of, so this whole area they're kind of just buying, same as before, and then they finally let the shorts cover, popped back up, held it as support. So it's kind of that spot. And then you kind of had the same thing at that 39.22-ish area. So you could have been, you probably could have been seeing buyers here. And then here, let's change this back to the cash only. Market's breaking up right now. Almost at 4,000. But so here's that buying, right? So here's that initial buying, same spot, pops up. There was some buying here. They let the shorts cover. Shorts get too short. Market rallies, comes back down. They buy again. Shorts have to cover here that are short from here. Shorts have to cover from here or they have to cover here that are short from there. So I still think that they have money on the table to buy a pullback. So even a pullback to like that 39.22-ish area, I think it's going to get bought up. So let's say even if we stall out here today, come back down, I still think that's where we're going. Maybe this like 40.50 area. 40.66 is kind of like where the 200's at right now.
Trap some more people just to give them the juice to finish the move.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it will depend also upon like, the Fed minutes and excuse me, things like that come out and stuff. Like it'll kind of depend on, nice, this is a nice little move going. Go back up to the settle here. It'll depend on like the economic data leading into the next Fed decision, because the market's going up right now based off of, I think people are really starting to finally read between the lines, right? They were late Thursday, late Friday shorting, getting trapped and squeezed higher. So it was kind of like a wash, because you got the retail crowd able to, squeeze out, and now they're buying here, right? The people are creatures of habit. They just buy what they saw on the news. Like, I saw the market went up 5%, biggest day since fucking, I mean, you'd be mind blown how many times, because people know that I trade the market. When they talk to me, that's like what they said the other day. And I'm like, yep, sure did. And then you're just thinking like, they're like, oh shit, might be good time to buy. So that's who's buying today, I think, right? Obviously weak short-handed traders. We broke the Globex high. That's awesome. We need to take out this poor high for buyers to show a little bit of strength. I mean, buyers are already showing strength, but. And so basically, I think what could happen here, dragging this story out even longer, is we get some buying in this range below this 200. Then there's a pullback to like 39.40, 39.20 area. And then a smash of the 200 would be more bullish for the market than if the market just goes straight there. Not that it really matters to me what happens. Like if we just go straight there today, like I'm super cool with that. But that's just something I'm kind of looking out for, because it seems like something that would make sense. And right now we are seeing weakness in buying. I mean, look at the tick. Fail above 600, fail above 600 again. Mechanical high though, right on the settle. I hate that that Globex session's so fucking big. System. We'll just have to add zones on the way up as the market moves. Oh, this kind of looks like buying right here.
Kind of, huh?
What's that?
I said kind of, huh?
Well, I mean,
I
you're
wish it would
seeing
go back down to like 95 and I'd buy it.
you're seeing like a little bit of trading here right at the Globex high, and it's not really getting accepted back in, right? Remember we said we use the high and the low as like to see accepted back in, or accepted outside is what I was saying, and then inside is value. But right now you're seeing some buyers kind of buy the overnight high and continue to buy it up, kind of saying like, no, 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 we like it up here, let's keep it. Nice. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. That was a nice trade here. Buying stepping up on the settle, so there's short covering there from sellers on the settle. This thing could keep going. Watch this 04 here, or 804. Oh, fuck. God damn it, I closed my NASDAQ trade right before that. Damn it. Oh my god. What a user error I just had. Oh my fucking lord.
What a user.
I still am on the ES, but the NASDAQ trade was so much nicer. I had such a better feel. And the NASDAQ just goes on tears sometimes, and it was on one. No, so on Sierra charts, when you grab your order, you can drag it around, right? And so I thought I clicked the screen, but I actually clicked my take profit, and I was trying to drag my screen up, so I moved my mouse down, and I was trying to move my screen down so I could see like what the targets were for the NASDAQ. Moved my take profit down into profit, and it took profit. I mean, so it's still a winning trade, but it's just like, oh, so much. That's just a fucking technical error right there. That's just embarrassing and frustrating. So this 804 is still holding, so we still like that level there. That's where all the shorts were covering in week. And some buying at that 40.02 level. What's that 557 there? 402. Held again right there. Now there's a bid that stepped on it on the 2. It's growing. Yeah, so those were short. Those were short covering there. All right, watch this 075 here. Would be a nice spot to jump back in on that turn. Ooh, buyers kind of look like they're getting stuck on the 175. There's the 075, only one contract traded on it. Sellers move down. It's trading that 075 level here. No down ticks. See if buyers can step up. Oh, it's the second standard deviation right here too. That's why all this fucking trading's going on, because people are doing VWAP trades. Here's if you can't read or get the VWAP. Back to the 75 here. Offers are moving down. Sellers are being aggressive right here. They'll look to see if they can get any downticks because they are being aggressive. They're making buyers kind of meet them on their aggression, and so far, buyers are meeting that aggression. It's kind of like sellers just walked up to the buyers in jail and they're like, "That's a nice fruit cup. I'm gonna have it," and the buyer's just like, "The fuck you are."
It's a nice fruit cup. I said, give me a damn jello.
But it's, I mean, this is going to be kind of a make or break area. This one, I mean, we've been looking at the 7-5, but it's, you know, it's like this whole 1-2 area, 7-5. I mean, we're back on it right now. It's going to be a make or break area here. This is where buyers need to kind of step up and convince us that they want to go higher above the settle. That tick's basically just sitting right flat here at the 40.
It's like Dave Chappelle and Wayne Brady, huh? It's like, I said, give me a damn sound.
And there's the VPOC is up here as well from Friday. I said, give me a damn sound. Yeah. Nasdaq's turning up. Tick looks strong this time. Finally getting to break the high here, getting close to this high with a nice strong tick. Let's see what we can get. A little bit of selling here. I expected the selling to be a little bit higher, to be honest with you. A little tapering off the top there, if you see that. You look at this high up here, it almost kind of looks like selling just got, or buying just got cut off. Hard to tell. There's so many periods traded there, but we'll look back at like the 30-minute bars from that period, those times. Now you're getting a seller kind of moving in there. Tick got all the way back below zero here. Kind of weeks like for selling. We're over 10 handles off the high. They should be more or less just kind of looks like liquidation. Getting a lot of mechanical shorting here from bearish divergence traders, I think. Well, maybe some more sellers are getting trapped right here.
Those are the first ones to fold.
No, well, I think they're selling because there's a bearish divergence developing with this big move up. There, no momentum carried with it. There's a bearish divergence, I'm sure. There's going to be an opportunity right here when this tick gets below 600, if it can. There's going to be a buying opportunity right off the half back because that's right the timing it's going to meet a mechanical trade right off the half back. Come on down.
What were you saying the level for of entry was, or the entry point
90.
was? Okay.
There'll probably be a quick scalp, but we should be able to time this perfectly. I've been working on something like this lately. We're watching this tick. Should trade 90 here. All right, ticks below 6. Get down to
And you're looking for it to pop back up?
yeah.
Just making sure I'm getting in the right direction.
Well, you shouldn't be doing the same trade as me. That's just
No, I'm not.
psychotic.
I was actually thinking there, it looked like it was going to be doing something similar. I was just making sure I understood. And I'm only in sim anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 91 is close enough to 90. So if they don't hold, if sellers don't hold this 93.75 level, probably trade 96. That's where the weak spot's at on the profile here. 6. That's kind of our first little half pipe forming there. We even got a little bit of a, you know, they stepped up before. So they stepped up a little bit early. These buyers did. Is selling. A little bit of profit taking, really. I have my stop at 93 now. So basically right at the C low. So if you ended up taking that little bounce trade there, that's where I'm giving up on the trade, is at 93. And all that was just like a inventory correction trade. I thought we were gonna get all the way down to 90. I'll be honest. Just because of like, just because it was half back, you know, so mechanical, so easy. So it's like, oh, let's just take it there and then pop it back up. But buyers stepped up early and stepped up on the 91, so they kind of front ran that position. So you had to force your way into that. But it wasn't a bad play on the inventory. Not getting any of that continuation that we wanted to see here. Not yet, at least.
Buyers.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I'd really like to see how this spot right here trades, how weak it is. Because it's like, you know, here's a bunch of volume, and then a bunch of volume stepped up above it. If they really can't make it back down into fill here, that's trap shorts there. And that's going to cause a rip up. And you're seeing mechanical selling right off the B half back. That's a really weak look for sellers here. Come on, NASDAQ, do your job. NASDAQ's trying to break up here. Look for these shorts to start covering here. There they are. There's a couple of them. Those shorts that we talked about that are trapped here. They're starting to cover here at the 96.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Kumite.
What are we looking at? 4,000. Where the
So you
target
get
here is still this poor high, 4,009. A little bit of selling right above that 4,000 level though. Still.
give this one some room to breathe. Not get scared. Get away.
So 96 was that level where we saw the impulse, right? That's where those shorts started to cover at. So watch this area here and see, this is going to be kind of an interaction area. We see a little bit of buying there. That was probably their break-even spot. So they probably re-shorted there, those sellers. This will be kind of a big zone here, this 86 or 96, excuse me. They lose the 96 area, buyers do. Now we're watching that 90 area, that weak spot below. We covered short before that earlier. You can see the kind of tapering off the low there if you look at the profile on the right edge of the chart. Still have sellers stuck down below at that 91 though, I think. So the settle's kind of a perfect level here to qualify a long trade. Unless you jumped on board down here at the 94 or you wait till that 90. But above the 4,000 level here, 4,001, we'll know that these shorts are in danger of covering again, so we can literally get long and put our stop right here in the weak spot, and look to trade back to this poor high 4,009. Or there's opportunity here if these shorts start to cover, because the shorts are at 96. And so if they come down here and this starts to fill in, but we don't get any down ticks, there's a buying opportunity. But the B low is your stop. Same thing up here. that weak spot as your stop. $50, 53.22 call put counts. Hey TJ, are you in here? TJ in here today? Oh, he's in here. I was gonna ask you guys, for those of you guys that are using Sierra charts, do you guys leave your orders on the screen? Like, can you see your order? Like, if you just say like what level you filled it at?
What's that, Brad?
Like, so on Sierra charts, like you can turn on, if you press trade, you can turn on show order fills. Is yours on or off?
Tools.
No, trade. Under
Oh,
trade.
trade and then what?
Show order fills.
Yeah, mine's on. Mine's checked.
Yeah, you should try turning it off. I think it might help you a little bit. It'll help you with just like managing the position, not those levels. Because all of a sudden, like, let's say if you get in one at 99 and then you add another one 98, well, now you're focused on getting that one off right there at break even so you can get back down to deleverage. You're so willing to take risk off so fast, but you're willing to put risk on. And I think, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying people in general.
Yeah.
And that might be a factor of it that kind of forces them into that habit of taking it off early because they're seeing it. The Nasdaq's on a rip up here. This thing's going. That sees it. What's it called? That like triggers your brain to close it out for like, oh, it's up a point. I'll just take this one off and then just try to let this one be a runner. Kind of thing, instead of letting the whole position that you just put on develop and win.
I know I was trading really, really good this morning and I took one pretty good sized loss and then I was like bitter, but I actually got it all back and now it got back to full drawdown again, back to the highest I've been all day. So it's a good trade.
All right, here we go. Option number 2.
Yeah, that loss I had, so stupid.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was. Every trade I've taken today has been a long trade. And the one short I took, just, man, I was in profit. Should have took it. Then it ripped up against me. And I was like, nah, I think at this level. Well, damn, must be at this level then. I just got smacked and then just been taking longs the rest of the day and going good.
Ticks seem to keep failing to close up there.
Yeah,
Up
like the
above the
buying is just
zero.
weak.
Yeah, wicks are high on the 15 minutes, just coming up and wicking down.
So watch for this thing to pop up back above 4001 and leave that 3515 there, low volume. Does that, that's going to be our entry signal with our stop loss just below that. So okay, decent pop, decent pop. I don't want to see any back end filling. Decent popping.
Just do it.
I mean, it wants to. It's can't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's struggling a little bit.
It's kind of back and filled that level now. Not really that much lower. 4,000. And turns you off to the position.
Or it's a better buying opportunity.
No, see, and that's a thing too. It's like, so like
Mhm.
I like this 4001 level to buy. I don't like this 98 level, right? And they're really close to each other, really similar. Like, I mean, a couple points away. I think the market's going to go up. Like, I'm bullish. Everything is telling me like, besides the tick right now is looking like absolute shit. It's not going down. It's just, it's just down a little bit here, but um, it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to buy this lower level because it makes me a little bit more uncertain at this spot where I know at 44,001 we should see a tick um above zero. This is actually kind of a bearish look.
I think they're gonna give sellers the fake out here.
Above 95 or above 4,001, I mean I'm a buyer. Sellers look trapped on the 96. Watch the 96. Fix it. Buyers are getting stuck here at 97. This is a make or break it zone here. Nice, they pop them. Let's see if they can get continuation. Buyers need this above 97. Like, this thing needs to stay above 97 to get buying going. Back to it. Nasdaq's back at the VWAP.
They're just taking a little breather.
The buyers are getting stuck right here.
Nah, they're just chilling. They're
Are
just letting them hang themselves. That's all.
We're not getting any downticks, that's for sure. There's a lot of buying though, or a lot of trades that are trading on the ask that, and the market's not getting any upticks either. So
Hmm.
two-way trading could go. That's why I don't really like this spot. I'd rather just wait. Below 96 to low below 96 though, that could take us down to that 90 area. I like the market down there. I actually like the market 6 here. Could get a nice liquidation break down to that 90. That'll go.
I'm in at the 96.
Long?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I just got in.
That seems like a pretty decent entry compared based on where it's been ranging.
Be tight, Jared. Because if it breaks, it's gonna break. Like it'll probably break to
My
90, so it'll be a
my
quick.
stop is at
Dead center in the
95.
middle. It's dead center fiddling in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it seems to me. It just seems, yeah, like you're diddling in the middle right here. But it could be a very like lucrative trade for sure, because this thing could definitely run all the way up to the 9. But
God damn it! Stop it! You're scaring me. I'll close it. I said. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just no. You're good in the
No,
trade.
I
Just below the 96, it starts to get a little bit slippy. All right, I'll be right back.
I was just
Right
looking
in
at the
middle
range and 96 was the low end of where it was ranging for a bit, but I can't argue. I don't know. I have to admit I wasn't on the chat for a while. Still doing my meetings.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get stopped out. I had my stop loss at 95. Go.
Dang, it's been pretty much going sideways for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Oh, what the heck? Came down and stopped me out.
And then it bounced
just
back
turns
up.
green. Yeah. They knew where my stop loss was. You guys scared me. They heard the trade. Oh, I lost $72 on that trade. Son of a bitch.
You'll be thanking us when it drops down below.
You're right. Look at son of a bitch.
I mean, even if you would put your stop down at 40, what is it, 94.50, it would have been popped anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's trying to do a look below before it runs up.
Maybe. I'm coming crazy. I'm about ready to buy her away at the same trade.
What was Brad saying? The better, well, I guess the question is where would a better entry be? So would it be better to enter above the volume right there where you have a shelf, the 98, maybe 99? Or above the settle? Well, I guess the settle's 4K. I don't know if that would be all that great. Although it would show conviction.
I'd say down towards 90 is the better range.
Oh, for the upside, yeah. Well, but
Just
I mean,
because
you think
it's right in the middle. That 96 is dead center in the middle. So really, I mean, if you can make money. I'm just saying.
do you think it's
for
going to
me
pop
anyway.
back up after it hits the halfback, or do you think that let me ask this: do you think C is going to break the B high?
I don't know. I think 90 is a good entry. I don't know if it holds. If it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
hold, I think we see the open.
Oh, that's
But
true.
I'm looking to take 90, that area, like he
Damn
buyers,
it.
but I don't know what happened.
What happened?
Dude, literally it was at 96 and I had my stop loss at like 95 and it went like the next candle open, it stopped me out and then just hasn't looked back.
It came all the way down to 94. So even if you had your stop a full point before, you would
Yeah.
have still been stopped out.
Little stop run to the downside to grab those stops for those weak-handed fucking longs.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
They made me pay for being a bitch.
They did.
They did. No, and literally like you guys had me all scared. I was up 1 point and I was like, oh, should I take it? Should I take it? And then the next candle opened, stopped me out, and then went up. I was like, son of a bitch.
Hey, Jared, I'm
I told you it could
proud of
get
you.
slippery under there, under that 96.
Nah, I think we're going up, dude.
Jared, I'm
yeah,
proud of you for
so
going
do
long. I know it goes against your nature. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, I was ready, you know.
So Jared's never had really a short bias.
I just have a
Just got like a global doom bias, like, but not for
yeah
the market.
global doom,
Yeah.
impending doom. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, shit's not going good, guys. It's getting bad.
An Armageddon bias, is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much. Yeah.
ELE.
But he trades the market pretty
Oh,
unbiasedly.
Jared, when every time you're in the trade, do you have your hand on the red button?
No. Depends if I'm in the red or the green. I'm trying to reverse my psychology to where if normally I'm in a winning trade and I have my hand on the button because I'm like, oh, it might go against me. And now I'm like, if I'm in a winning trade, I'm chilling. And if I'm in a short trade, I got my hand on the close button.
So with us still being inside of initial balance, if you're in a long still, you've got to be sharp enough here to realize what they just did to those weak-handed shorts. And even if C breaks up above this 401, which is where we're looking for, if it breaks up above there, and then that C takes, like we take the C high, but we don't take the B high, that could be another, let's grab the weak-handed short stops and get these weak-handed longs out of here. They're taking profit before the high. This could just be a liquidity grab. We're thinking chess style here. We're thinking steps in advance. Right? So they stole some liquidity here. Right? So they've got some liquidity because that's where they took those stops, right? They are at the 94 area. So they took those stops. They move this thing up, and we'll watch the tick, right? This tick looks it's embarrassing how fucking weak it is, right? On both sides. They move this thing up, they take this C high, they fail, put in another poor high. What happens is all of these longs that stayed in, that took profit here, are now thinking, oh shit, this thing's super weak, and they're going to short again on that 96. So this is like 2 plays in advance, and then on our third play, if buyers step up and hold this 95, that thing's going to be our launch pad. Just got to stay patient enough to wait for that to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then there's no trade.
It's almost forming like a really small cup and handle.
On like a
5-minute chart.
Oh yeah, on a 5-minute chart. So here's that 4001 level. Amazon's putting out news right now that they're laying off thousands of employees.
Apple is actually only or less than 1% down.
Yeah, and like everything else is saying green. Like tech is flipped green.
And Microsoft
And
it used to be 2.4 and now it's only 2% down.
financials is almost green. So
That should shoot that Amazon stock way up.
it is turning up hard right here. It's right at $99. $99.85, yeah. Apple's really the one dragging the market down today. Surprised we opened with such a negative breath. Bunch of dirty profit takers and short sellers early on. But right here at this 4001 level, this was kind of our level that we were watching at. Nice little pop there.
here's me with my order at 4001, just like waving by.
Oh, again?
Again.
Damn.
I was like, please come down. Just touch. It was like 75, and then it was like right there. And I was like, just film me. Just film me.
Where did I get filled? Let me. I chased all the way one up to 2. My last fill was at 2 already for that little pop.
Damn. Like just come down.
With those ones, if you chase, just be quick. Like if you're chasing a position, right, it should work right away, or it's just not gonna work. And that way, if that's what happens, then just be like, oh well, fuck that position.
There it is again. Oh, touch me. Nice.
Oh, 1 second, guys. All right. All the kids today at the house. All right, so we're getting our play going here. Who's got their hands
Volume is
formed?
down 22%, almost 23% from Friday. For this last period anyway.
As long as you tell me your play is going to the long side.
I already told you to play. I said we're
What's the
playing.
play?
Remember, we're playing chess, not checkers.
A little liquidation break.
A liquidation break.
Came back to your 96, Jared.
I want to see it break down to the 92, 90. Everybody all scared.
Everyone's already all scared.
Are they not scared enough?
Oh, they're plenty scared.
Hmm.
Where's your switch at? Oh. Why don't you let Nora play it? Buddy? Yeah. That'd be nice. Damn, we're gonna have to rewind this.
Wait for me. Here I am beating on the side of the school bus. Bus driver's just flipping me off.
Like this fucking Jared guy, he's always late. I don't got
He's
time.
always late. Yeah. I got places to go.
Dude, bus drivers are savage. Like in California, we don't really see the buses that much because not that many kids take the bus to school. But on the East Coast, like a fuckload of kids take the bus to school. So like it's packed, packed. Like and the bus drivers are just like there's just like a lot of buses out during school times, and they just drive. Like they're not concerned about you. They've got places they've got to be. Curtis. Oh. D period still balancing inside of C period here. Oh, Nasdaq on a tear. See if it's gonna keep going. Fades it. Nasdaq was right at its VWAP. ES is bouncing right off of its cash VWAP, I think. Oh no, cash VWAP's a little bit lower, 91. A lot of stops look like they're lined up at 91.50. I'm seeing the ES kind of like broke that downtrend, but is now kind of like looking for support on it. And so I would kind of assume that a break below this probably takes us down straight to the 90 on a liquidation. Did we look at the volume today? It's down 22%. So really light. So far looks a lot like up play coming off that tick as well. On days like today, and this is something that I've just recently started watching and using actually, where the market is more or less balancing. I'm kind of using that 600 tick as a level to see either continuation above or below that 600 level. And so like if you get this kind of oversold tick, those are kind of like my like oversold or overbought levels today on a range day, comparatively to what we normally use, the 1000, right? And if we're looking at it in comparison here, we're kind of I hate this overnight sessions being so wide, but if we look at these two distributions from Friday's session, really like all the way up to here and then to here and then from here and down. So there's really just kind of like this weak spot that it's building in.
All right, I was on a phone call. What did I miss? What's going on?
This is like a little airplane kind of. I'm just fucking off.
Hmm.
We're just talking about how there's like or these responsive trades when the market gets to a low and we're not really making any progress on either side today, and it gets below this 600. A lot of times that's like an oversold look, and there's a trade there from the low, especially when the tempo slows and then kind of have like a volume divergence there.
A lot of short covering P profile so far.
Yeah, I would say so.
Damn, I want to be in right now, but I'm just looking for a good entry. Like no matter what, I'm gonna get into a long. I've already convinced myself of that right here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know when. Like 90, 91 would be a good entry. But then again, if it breaks the 90, it's like, might have it wrong.
That is question, really. A question worth thousand points. This is the cash VWAP this low. This 91.75 is the cash VWAP. A bit of liquidation there. There it goes below the 90. Right off the overnight point of control ish. Time point of control. Liquidation through that. Next level
Ouch.
down would be 83.
Ah,
Are you diddling in the middle there, Jared?
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. If this thing pops, I swear to God, and you got stopped out, I'll rewind the video and you can watch it back exactly. And then
I would just be sick.
yeah, probably. So buyers got to get above the 20 or the 39.89 here. Can't really give up any more ground. I mean, they have the open still. That's really the kind of key here is the open, but maybe some more buying on the 85. That was kind of a decent level on the way up since we've been ranging in such a tight range today.
Okay, kill that.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back. Hungry. I'm back. All right, keep it down. Yeah, but that's. Do you want that or no? You want the? Oh, you're gonna eat it for dinner. Oh, okay. Well, eat your lunch or eat your Happy Meal, or else I'm gonna eat it. Better be quick. Oh, someone's got their mic on. What is that?
Good piss.
It's Roach, I think.
Oh, I'll mute him. What is it?
That was Roach liquidating some assets.
So Nasdaq got smacked down pretty hard here. We're at our first standard deviation of the VWAP. Probably see some buying right here. But only buying that would convince you that it had strength would be buying that got back above this 90. We're seeing volume kind of shift down. Close to the open here. And getting accepted kind of in this lower distribution here as well.
Stacy, were you talking to me, bud?
No,
You were
no.
your mic was
You were,
on,
you were,
Roach.
yeah, you were on when you were doing a bio break. It sounded like.
I was taking a piss. You heard me taking a piss?
Yeah,
Yes,
I was saying that you were liquidating some assets.
Yeah, how the hell did you hear that? I was on mute, and I was 2 rooms over. Fuck.
I called it.
Clearly, sound travels very well.
Morning,
Yeah, and
Devin.
it was on mute. It was muted, though. That's why I asked you. I was curious. I thought he was talking to me. Huh.
Thomas, what's
Sorry.
up? I didn't see any of the stuff here. Whatever it's called, Streamslab. This last is from this previous day. So that ALO is kind of mechanical right off that previous last, honestly.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know the mic's fucked up. Something's wrong.
Yeah, no worries. Pick below 1,000 here. There's some strength here in this move. Look, there's that liquidation. Now we see if there's any conviction here. Nasdaq catching a little bit of a bounce there. Dragging the ES up with it. We got some sellers stuck down here below the 80. Right off of Friday's halfback. Interesting here. I'm still not seeing like a rush to buying here. This is just kind of like letting buyers get tired and then smack them down again. That's just 83 level. This is where buyers need to get above and hold here. But they kind of died out last time. Same thing's happening. So there's a seller trying to sell the 82, but there's a buyer trying to buy above 83. So it looks like they might be clear here. The tight game. Remember, we know that they have strength above the 86. That was the big level kind of on the way down here. All this volume started to come in. It's holding above the 83 now.
Apple is still hanging out around 1% down. It hasn't dipped.
Weighted AD just flipped back to positive. Tick is about to go green. Or trying to at least. And D went to negative 1200 when we weren't making a new low. Which that's kind of a weak look there for sellers. Just last line, different color. Six still trying to go here. Everyone's just trying to get neutral before Waller's on at 1, I think. Oh, the Fed's just released something too. Survey of consumer expectations. Inflation expectations increase. Household income growth expectations touch new high. Median 1 and 3 year ahead inflation expectations increased to 5.9% and to 3.1% from 5.4% and 2.9% respectively. Median 5-year inflation expectations, meanwhile, rose by 0.02 percentage point to 2.4%. Household income growth expectations touched a series high of 4.3, up from 3.5 in September, while households expectations, while changed at 2%, to measure the lowest reading since July 2020. Mean unemployment expectations, or mean probability in the U.S. unemployment rate, will be higher 1 year from now, increased to its highest reading since April 2020 of 42.9%. So basically, to me, what that was, that little dip there was just a news-driven dip. And the Fed's trying to convince people to get short to get liquidity.
Do a little market making of their own.
I mean, I think that's what they're always doing. It's just people don't pay attention. But they need to get above that 86 to establish dominance here, buyers would. If not, this is just backing and filling. Nasdaq looks like it wants to go here.
Did he go on already? Is that the report he delivered?
No, he didn't
Or is
go.
he
That was
still coming?
this is just something that they released. He's not on today.
Oh, okay.
The Feds released the minutes on Wednesday, I think. There's some important CPI numbers, or PPI numbers this week. Tomorrow. I think those are the only really important numbers that are coming out. The market's creating a little range here, and the range is lower here. See, this kind of chunk of red volume is lower, and right at the top, 86, 87-ish area, that's where the buyers need to get in order to start shaking out some of these weak-handed shorts. If not, what's going to happen is you're going to see shorter term buyers here that seem to be kind of tapering off this low just start taking profit, and they'll start liquidating, and they may even turn to sellers below that A low. So it could be even more downside there. It's just hard to trust either side, right? We're still like in, a 20-point range here. Or was it like a 30-point range here, excuse me.
Dude, they had him at that 86 too. If they could just ran it up to 88, they would have him.
I mean, they need to get back into this upper distribution, which is kind of like, they need to get back above the Globex high to really have them. But there's just weakness on both sides here. I did catch a nice little trade off the low there. But now I'm flat and kind of looking maybe this 82 level. Let's see if E period gets back above that high. Failure for E period to get back above its high is really a weak look.
Looks like they heard you and they're taking care of it.
Yeah. It was exhausting, something right there that obviously was just like,
Me,
it
I
was
was one to take off and I got kicked out on my long.
That sounded more like the sound of someone who'd been like in a long that finally got a little pop after averaging in on a loser.
What?
I was waiting for him to pipe up.
What?
Hang on, say what?
Trying to do the 86.
So look, that big bearish divergence actually played out. It just stopped out a bunch of weak shorts before.
We didn't need those shorts anyway.
Well, somebody does, because somebody's got them now. And now they've just shooken out weak longs here on this rush down. It sounds oddly familiar.
We're very likely to get back in going, oh my gosh, I missed a trend.
Do I got a screen share on right now or something?
Someone's selling the shit out of that 87 level here. Hey, keep it down. So they're back below this 86. The big seller was right on that 87, it looked like. And then the buyer steps up on the 84 there.
Today has been a battle.
You're getting chopped up in the no man's land, my man.
Yeah, dude. I'll give you my numbers. I was at 700, went down to only up 100, went up to 950, went all the way down to down 600, and now I'm back up 960.
Oh my lord.
I'm so sad my second contract didn't go in. Why fuck it. 8 points works. Give my 8 points. No. Fucking A.
All right. I'll write it to the top for you.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, I'll take my.
What you mean? You talking like I ain't in right now?
I'm out. I took a fatty L at the beginning today. I was the fuck. I got into this joint being the alligator. Didn't even fresh my mind out for none. I needed to make points. You hear me? Hmm.
Hey, guys. Nora. Yeah, do you hear what I'm saying? Be quiet. Play quietly. Okay? Stop following rules.
That was a bunch of crap. I was up $100. I hit close and it stopped me out at my break even.
What a little
I
bit.
was like, what? I was like, what? What kind of film was that? I know.
Now we're in the danger
Somebody
zone.
has it in for you, Jared.
I know. Somebody's like, fuck
What
this
the
guy.
hell?
Yep.
I have a little bit of a downtrend here. You can kind of see it here. So you're up 10 points on your trade now, maybe more. Now's the time you decide, okay, 10 points might be enough points for me. Or do I want to risk it for the biscuit? Because if there's a pullback, you're going to go from being 10 points up to being 5 points up, because the pullback's probably going to come back down to that 91. So you're going to lose 5 points like that. And this is kind of that area where you really got to decide. Is it going to hold again? And am I going to add more than 90, 92? So far, the play worked like to a charm. We literally we chest this out here, guys. I'm telling you, that shit worked perfectly, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna rewind it and watch it, and maybe make one of those things out of it. Just so much work to do that. I hate doing that shit. So I probably won't. Actually, fuck that.
I feel like buyers are stuck on the 98 right now.
Buyers are?
Yeah.
Didn't we hit 96 on the way up? Wasn't
Yeah,
there a
kind
big
of.
battle at 96?
Yeah, there was a big battle at 96. Yeah, Curtis, what does that say? Did you bull us for lunch? Well, what are you thinking? Sellers are trying here in this 96 again. Sellers are stuck on the 96.5. See if they can get back down below. They're trying. A lot of selling coming in right here. This is kind of that area where we were saying, like, you know, you could take profit up here and be happy with your 10 points, or you can risk it and be, you know, getting 5 points and then remanaging. Not even just like, it's not guaranteeing that it's going to come back up if you sit through a rotation. All that it's guaranteeing is that you're giving up 5 points. That's it, and then maybe more if you decide to risk it again. All right.
So what happens if this thing pops 4 again?
4?
Yeah,
Oh, then we should go
okay.
to that
40, 80, 40,
975.
80.
Yeah. Oh, right to 4080. Yeah.
Yeah, straight there.
And I mean, we still have the volume today, maybe to get there. I don't know. But I mean, they're definitely gathering liquidity here. So that makes you at least suspicious. Makes me suspicious for sure. What those Fed minutes are going to say.
When do they come out?
Wednesday.
Oh, that's Wednesday.
Yeah. Let's check the Fed funds rate tool. What's the VIX at? VIX is up a little bit. It's up almost 3%. It was up 5% though, wasn't it? The VIX at. Oh my god. Oh, so it's been trailing down as well. Okay.
Hmm.
I think I see Jared. Like Ferris Bueller. I think I see my dad.
Is it just me or does it seem like we've been making higher lows the
Well,
past
we just made a higher
month?
low, kind of. I mean, like per
AMD's
bar, I guess, yeah. But like on actual
AMD's
pullback.
had AMD's had 2 shots at popping below the low and couldn't do it. And we're actually back even, not quite to the top of the day, but we're back even with the other 2 pops back up.
One minute ago, the Supreme Court has cleared a way for the House Committee investigation of the January 6, 2021 insurrection of the U.S. Capitol to get phone records belonging to the leader of the Arizona Republican Party.
It's about to go down.
Red Brainerd said there must be an appropriate regulation for such platforms so to continue to strive for positive initiation or innovation. So what that
Isn't like
means, what? Go ahead.
isn't like Arizona? I was bartending the other day, and these grandpas were fucking complaining about how you can vote and then change your vote a week later in Arizona. You change your vote after you vote. I guess
I
like the
have
whole
no
voting
idea.
thing in Arizona is like all messed up and shit.
That sounds like that's messed up for sure.
I never heard of that, but
Yeah, like you can vote and then change your vote in a week in advance. So you have 1 week and then to change it. And then I guess they bet the count was supposed to be done like Sunday, and then they said Monday, and then it's still not done or something like that.
But here's the thing, though. Who is unsure? Like, I mean, you're voting one way or the other. I mean, your number's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with Democrat this time. You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen.
Brainerd said rapid tightening causes economic spillovers. If we pull up the Fed funds rate tool, you can see 80% here on the 3/4 point rate hike. That's pressure on the market there.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
Brad,
am
what
the
about this thing about
liquidation.
the inflation went down 0.2, but they were saying that a big part of it was that is that healthcare went down like 4 points, and but it's also just because of the way they do the accounting on it. They changed the way they, I don't know, fiddle with their numbers, but so it wasn't actually as good. So talking about like a double hump inflation hike, which I think is going to happen probably.
Almost like somebody said, like the next dump is going to come in healthcare. Fucking cannot remember where I heard that at.
I vaguely recall somebody saying it. Random.
Must have been
AMD
Jim
just made a
Dalton.
higher. AMD just made a higher high.
And everyone said, you're an idiot.
Well, higher high from earlier, not the highest high of the day. It's got a ways to go to hit the higher high, highest high.
Stephon Curry took a couple $100 million loss with the FTX too.
Who did?
Stephon Curry and Shaquille O'Neal.
Not my boy Shaq, really?
Yeah, he's got a lot of money. I mean, that
Shaq's
guy.
rich, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and smart.
He has a diversified portfolio. That
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
that man knows how to invest.
Yeah, he's smart.
The general insurance is his deal. That's his guy.
he said he spent his first million in like a half hour, and then after that, he was like, "All right, I got to do this shit right."
He's always been good with money his whole career.
Except in the beginning.
Yeah, he
for
had.
sure.
I think he went and bought himself like a Mercedes, and then he was like, "Oh," his mom was like, "Where's mine?" And he's like, "Oh, I got to go buy her one." And then he looked at how much he was in the hole, and he's like, "All right, I'm never doing that again." And that's how
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "All right, time to hire some financial planners."
That's pretty normal though. You get your first million, you're like, "Fuck it." Let me buy whatever
I'm
the
rich.
fuck I want. But that's like his level of money is not just a million. Like, you know, he's making like, well, later on, making like 40 million a season or some shit. It's crazy. 36 million a season, was it?
Yeah, but now he owns hundreds of restaurants and all kinds of shit.
Oh, he owned, yeah. He's on it. Remember that 4002 level was kind of the big level up here. We hit that 4001 with like 41 contracts.
Bot just did its double down buy.
Oof. Got a nice short right there. Give it to me now.
You're getting a 45-degree angle right off the top. Well, Jason, it feels like they're hunting for your stops because it's just psychology. You know what I mean? Like that's all I was using to do our chessboard, right? We had talked about they just grabbed those stops at 92, 93. They ran the market up, ran the stops on the upside, and then did the same thing again, ran the stops on the downside, got it back up, got people to re-short here, ran their stops to get to this upper distribution, and now you're kind of seeing like, you know, where are we going to go from here? Now it's kind of like, you know, no man's
But where's
land.
that 40?
Back to
Where's
no
that
man's
45
land.
angle?
The 45-degree angle is off the high.
That's a weak low up there, though. I
That's-
guess 2 times. Almost
A weak
same for
high.
B as well.
I mean, this high is questionable, but this is a good high, and this is a good high. But
Okay.
you still have that 45-degree angle. B is actually good excess.
Which means they're still unfinished business.
Well, it's just like, because this is a P-shaped profile still, we've got to remember that. So most of this is just short covering. So until we get extension over that B high, we really can't
Got it.
trust the market. Because then it would be a P profile with extension. That lets you know that there's not only short covering, there's buying as well inside all this volume. But no extension past that B high would indicate that all of this buying is just short covering, and that's weak buying. And so you kind of, like, if you're not in a position right here, you're really kind of stuck. Or I mean, Jared said he shorted up here, so that was a good short. And then, you know, your stop would just have to be just above, or really above the B high. That would where you know you're wrong for sure, because they still could run these stops and die off in here. But I mean, right here, you're not really, you don't really have an opportunity to get in. Your next opportunity in D 92, I think, if the market comes down there. And really, with it coming down there, that's a weak look, because there's buyers up here that are weak, short-handed buyers, and that's probably where they're going to cover at. So you might out, like I said, we were up 10 points on that trade. Right now you're up about the same 10 if you stayed in. It's that chance where you're gonna have to decide here, is, am I gonna just take profit and call it a good win? Or if it gets to this 95, you're going to be, you know, only up 5 points, and it could just run through that straight to 90 back. You know, entry was 84, but it could run straight back to that 90, and then you're only up, you know, 6 points on that trade. Oh, so I guess we're up like 20 points almost on this trade.
What was the entry was 90, wasn't it? Or did you have it? Oh, it
My
was lower
entry
because it came back.
was 84.75, 84
Yeah.
quarter, and then I added on 90 and 90 quarter, and then I added again on 97, but I took that add off at 99.75, just 2 points above. Or 3 points above, because it just didn't go.
How long are you gonna have the trade room open today, bro? Till like midday?
I don't know. I'm actually probably getting ready to end, to be honest with you. It's getting about lunchtime.
About that time? Alright. Alright. I'm gonna head out. You have a good day, boss. Nice
Alright.
seeing you and nice talking to y'all.
Yeah,
You
you
guys
too.
have a good one.
Catch you later, bro.
Looks like you cut a nice fade, Jared.
He closed early.
Oh, I closed that one.
Yeah. Could smell it in the air. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off, get some lunch. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully, there we go, right back to it. So it didn't even slow down at that 95. It just went kind of right to this weak spot here. That kind of makes sense. But yeah, other than that, make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, don't trade. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate it. Be live, you know, pretty much every single day for the most part, unless I've got stuff going on, just to kind of talk our way through the market and kind of understand how inventory changes hands. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all later.
All right.